Friday night and the sports show. I love this next 2 weeks. If there's anything that I lose sleep on and stay up and watch, there is. I know you love your American football. I know you love your baseball, Jace, but I love Wimbledon, and I will be losing sleep in the next 2 weeks. There's nothing short of that.
Well, yes, Wimbledon is one of those can't put down tennis tournaments. I don't watch a lot of tennis, but I do watch Wimbledon myself. Yeah. Here's a stat for you. You called me the stat man for a reason. 1971, 50 years ago to this tournament. There are two champions, the men's and the women's singles champion, celebrating their 50th anniversary. Who were they?
I'm going to guess Rod Laver.
Right.
And I'm going to go with Yvonne Goolagong.
Well, you were 50%. Yvonne Goolagong. No, Yvonne Goolagong is correct.
And it was
John Newcombe. That's right. Both of them. It's both of them Australians. The only time that it's happened.
Amazing.
Yep. That men and women were held by an Australian at the same tournament. So
that's a great 50 years on stat. I mean, we've just had our up there, Gazali, 42 years on. I mean, this is just fantastic stuff tonight. We're loving a bit of history.
I bring that up for a good reason too, because
why? In
the women's side of the draw, Ash Barty will be the number one seed.
Yes.
Now, to honour Yvonne Goolagong's 1971 victory, she's going to be wearing an outfit which is designed on what Goolagong was wearing back then. Fila have put it together. So I think that's a great nod to Yvonne Goolagong. She's obviously very pleased as well. So, and look, what a way to get a country behind you.
Oh, what a way. And I thought you were going to go with a stat that you reckon Alex Dimonor is going to be up for the men's challenge and we're going to do it again.
Well, I hope so. I tell you what, if anyone's a chance to win from Australia in the men's side of things, it's not Dimonor.
Right. Who do you think it is?
Well, it's Nick Kyrgios.
He flew out only last week, though, didn't he? Like, he's hadn't had a big preparation.
He won't win,
No.
but he's the one that can win Wimbledon if he could put together 7 matches one after the other. The reality is Nick Kyrgios will never win a major because he can't put 7 matches together. But he's quite capable of knocking off some very big players along the way.
Sounds like the Melbourne Footy Club of tennis, doesn't it? He can't put 7 matches together. Although they did. They did early on. So
look, let's have a look. At the moment we're in qualifying, so the tournament gets underway as of Monday. We know the seeds, and we'll get to those in a minute, but there's a few Australians going around in qualifying at the moment that we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Perez has been one of them. Roddy Nova has been another. They both got qualifiers coming up.
So we're getting to the pointy end of that now. Sanders will play tonight. That's in the women's draw.
And in the men's side for qualifying, interestingly enough, a couple of blokes, and Polman's, he's got through 11-9 in the fourth. What a qualifier. He's going to be absolutely beggared by the time it gets to the main draw if he makes it.
Well, it's even better. I think it's 11-9 in the fifth.
Oh, was it really?
It was the decider.
Did I get the wrong colouring up? It was 5-2. I can't count. You're the stat man for a reason.
Indians are not having a good time in England right now. We'll get to that in a moment. He beat an Indian lad. O'Connell, got through in straight sets. So congratulations to him. And I know there's a couple of other Aussies going around.
I reckon Alex Bolt, wasn't it, from Murray Bridge? He's into the main draw.
Yes.
But on the men's side of the main draw, number one seed Djokovic, they reckon he will meet Federer, possibly, if they both get through from here, in the quarterfinals. Of course, Rafael Nadal is out, and it makes Dominic Thiem, who is the fourth seed, comes, I think, upper seed. We've got, he's out too, I think, wouldn't you? Yeah, he's probably out. Yep. And so he's another one out. So where does that leave? Daniel Medvedev, he's in second seed. After him, we get to where Raf might have been, and then we got, Tsitsipas and Zverev in the next group of players. So really interesting to see how this opens up.
If Federer will be the sixth seed, and if Novak is the first seed and Federer is the sixth seed, then they will meet potentially in a semi-final, I believe. So that's potentially. I don't think Roger gets that far. I think Roger is on a farewell lap.
And what about this young Rublev from Russia? He's the fifth seed here. He has come from nowhere, this guy, from about 2 years ago. I remember watching him at, I think, an Australian Open match on telly, and I thought, this guy can really play, but he's come for the next 2 years. He's really made his way up the rankings.
Yeah, he's a star in the making, but goes to show with Roger Federer how little tennis he's played, this year how hard it is to get out of the top 10 once you're in it. It's not the Australian cricket team, to be quite honest. I mean, Roger's hardly played, and there's been guys playing all around the world that just can't break it into the top 10 at the moment. And look, I wish the Swiss master all the best because I love him. I love watching him play. But I think he's right at the end now. And there is no question in my mind that Novak Djokovic wins this tournament.
And he wins and becomes a 20 Grand Slam winner. If he does, that makes him equal with Rafael Nadal at 20 and Roger Federer at 20. This is the tournament article, if you want to have a look at it, up at flownews24.com.au about this very topic. And I reckon that you're quite right. Who can beat him on grass? Well, maybe the big serving Zverev or Tsitsipas will be around the mark. I don't see Berrettini, clay court specialist from Italy. Don't see the Spaniard Bautista Agut. And I don't see Schwartzman from Argentina, who plays well. Can't see Shapovalov from Canada down in that top 10. You get to some Gael Monfils at 13. You get Alex de Minaur, the first-ranked Australian, at 15. And then after that, it goes right down the list for a lot of players into that seeded into the top 32, including Marin Cilic from Croatia, who actually did win a Grand Slam, I think the US Open, back about 8 years ago. So this is going to be really interesting for the Aussies. How do you see it? Do you have a tip?
Yeah, it is Djokovic. I think the only way to beat Novak is you have to have some X factor about you. If you're a brick wall, i.e. Alex de Minaur, forget about it. Novak's better than you. He is the best at that type of game. So if you're simply going to get into 30-stroke rallies with Novak, you're in trouble. You got to win the point early.
The women's draw, Simona Halep is in position 2 after our own Ash Barty. Sabalenka, who's the Spanish girl at 3. It is Elena Svitolina, which is an easy one to say.
Elena Svitolina.
I like that, don't you? Number 4. She is number 5 here on the list is Sophia Kenin, the girl from the United States, and followed by Andreescu, who's a former winner of a major. So she's a one to watch here, Bianca. And then Serena Williams, is she a chance at number 7 seed?
Always a chance in any tournament she enters, but I think she's getting towards the Roger Federer stage now, where it just may have gone past her right at the peak, right at the summit of the game. That she's still going to be very competitive, but that might have just gone past her. Swiatek,
the Polish girl, at number 8, and Karolina Pliskova, and she's at number 9, and then 10 is Benchik, and they're the top 10. So not a lot of American talent in that top 10, which we normally see amongst the women's draw. Who wins?
Gee whiz. Look, realistically, if Ash Barty doesn't win Wimbledon this year, I'm not sure she can.
Do you reckon that hip injury is as bad as it is? Is it an ongoing thing? She seems to lose some matches to it.
It's hard to tell. We'll see how good her preparation is, I guess, in the first couple of rounds. But for mine, we had Halep who won last year, but I like the chances of the 5th seed, Sophia Kenin. I think she's proven in terms of being able to handle big matches. So I think she's probably as big a threat as anyone. All
right, I'm going for Sabalenka because I like the name.
Fair enough.
I think Ash is my favourite.
It's not the Melbourne Cup.
No, that's right. It was a bit like that, wasn't it? Look, that's great to talk about Wimbledon. I'll be up late at night. The Statman will be keeping us going with his updates through the day on things that are happening, and looking forward to a terrific Wimbledon tournament.